BigFooty Blues. BigFooty Blues. BigFooty Blues. Turn the BigFooty Blues.
Hey there, yes, we're fronted up again for another episode of the BigFooty Blues Podcast. We figure if you're going to keep listening, then we're going to keep talking. I'm ODN, and allow me to introduce the rest of our gang who walk the walk and talk the talk. Hey, ShanDog.
Hello, how you doing?
Happy dude, how are you?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
And the biggest comeback since the 1970 Grand Final, it's MEB!
I'm back! Hi, guys!
Welcome back.
Thanks. I just imagined myself running through a banner and I got really excited.
Yeah.
And I'm high-fiving you all.
All the smoke coming out the race. What's going on with that lately? I hadn't noticed it. Everyone's doing that now.
It's actually really appropriate. Daniel Menzel back tonight, MEB back tonight.
Yes.
Oh,
What a night for comebacks.
Oh, look, I reckon she's going to be kicking a few goals too, so we'll see.
You guys. Oh,
Let's oh, look, I can't wait any longer. Let's just launch into it with a bit of blues news.
you dickheads.
Blues News.
Oh, look, I said the big news around the Carlton Football Club at the moment is the appointment of a new senior coach. Yes, the world's worst kept secret. Brendon Bolton has been appointed Carlton coach for a period of 0 years, apparently, because there's no contract. Weird. John Barker was very close second and apparently quite disappointed. What do we think about the appointment though, guys?
Every time we have a bit of news and you introduce it, you always say it was the worst kept secret. So I'm starting to think we're the worst secret keepers.
Ooh, that's breaking news.
Yeah.
Sneaky leakers? No, they narrow it down a little bit. Stuart Dew obviously said, I withdrew from the position after he was told we didn't want him. And
a bit like certain people like
Simon Lloyd had a little bit of a sook to Matty Lloyd, who went and whatever that stupid show is they do, and
they
said,
do a show.
He's out. Him and Caro. We don't get it up here.
Sure, it's a riot.
So we kind of, it's a little bit of a war of attrition, and we sort of they narrow it down to the last few. Scott Burns was apparently a very close third. So, but are we happy with Brendon Bolton's appointment?
I'm quite happy. Is he's the youngest senior coach currently in the AFL? I know he'd be very close. He's only like 30.
Aside from Matty Egan, who's 32, caretaker coach at Essendon at the moment.
Yeah, but that's only a caretaker, really.
Yeah.
I suppose it does count. And is he one of the first appointed senior coaches that didn't play AFL level?
Wayne Britton for Carlton?
Yeah.
Britain? Yeah. I knew I was forgetting one because I thought he couldn't be the first.
Neil Craig, but he played Sample. He was a pretty big star there, but I don't think he played in the AFLs. There's been a few, but
The very first one.
Sorry,
The very first coach. He'd also.
Yeah,
John.
John.
Was captain coach in those days.
Yeah.
He wasn't. No, well, he wasn't even a footballer. He was a suited coach, wasn't he? He was just an administrator of sorts, and he won 3 premierships with Carlton. So
Yeah,
There you
that,
go.
Shannon.
Yeah.
Why don't we go back? We go back to those old days because that seems to work
Got
well for us.
educated.
what else have we got if we don't have the past? Maybe do at the moment.
Anyway, I'm so excited about Bolton. I'm as excited as he is, I think. He seems really... he's got a teaching background, so that should help him with the development of the younger guys, and he'll probably have really good communication skills because of that. His press conference was pretty good the other day. Was very professional, and he was quite measured. He obviously has a sense of humour, which makes a nice change from coaches of the past, not naming any names. But I think, and what I've been told by Hawthorn supporters is that he can be really ruthless when he needs to be, and he's not afraid to set the standard and expect nothing less than that, which is pretty much exactly what we need. So, and I'm so proud that finally, for once, we followed a process.
Yeah.
We've got to trust the process.
No, Roman House was right. It's all about process. It's not his process.
In a way. Yeah. No, I'm also glad that we finally said something and went through with it properly. Brand new coach, he gets to mould the team to himself, start at the bottom, build the team, draft, work with Sauce, who's going to help build the list. The board just needs to get the frig away from him and stay in the boardroom and just bicker about their stupid little shit that they do in there. Leave him alone for the next few years.
Look, I think they can do that now that they've got a better structure in the football department.
I hope they can do that.
Well, look, before they had a lot of tacked on duties, like McKay had tacked on duties, and back when Greg Swan was there, he had tacked on duties and stuff they really shouldn't have been doing. Now that you've got a list manager there, there's another sort of level of interference, if you like, between the board and the football department, and I can see. And look, it was a board's decision to run this process. They knew they're listening, and they've actually followed what we wanted them to do. There's also rumours at the moment that they're looking at a few changes to the board. And one of the main rumour mongers, who has a little bit of cred at the moment, said that that's instigated by the board, the changes. It's not like a challenging ticket or anything to try to overturn the board. It's the board themselves are looking at a bit of renewal and some interesting names about to come on. So we'll see what happens there. But if they're actually looking at and going, you know what, we have fallen down a few areas, and Emlo's only been there just over a year or so we can only judge him on that year, not the 3 or 4 years he's been on the board in total. I don't know, there's some pretty decent noises coming out there at the moment, some sort of self-evaluation and self-discipline.
No, I'm certainly hoping so. It looks a lot better, like all the processes from the outside, people having like proper set roles and stuff, but like obviously 5 senior coaches in the last 15 years doesn't fill me with confidence until I actually start seeing the results. I think they need to get my confidence back in them.
Yeah, fair call.
Yeah, fair call. Look, John Barker did a fairly good job as caretaker coach. It was one of those. It was interesting to hear that Carlton had basically said, look, we look after our quality staff. He's a quality person, and we want to look after him. And it seems that when he took on the caretaking job, there may have been a bit of a clause in there whereby he was still guaranteed a job regardless of what happened with the senior coaching job. But obviously, he's a little bit disappointed. He's going to coach out the last 2 games of the season and make up his own mind what he wants to do. But Carlton do have a job there for him if he wants it. And word is that Brendon Bolton is quite happy for Barks to stay. So it's very different to what you'd normally see in such a competitive coaching process.
I'd like to think that they're both sort of mature enough to put the whole going for the same job thing aside, because it does happen in large companies. 2 people will go for the same role and then they have to work together after that. And Barker did a really good job. I know he didn't get as many wins as what we would have liked, but he got us a couple, and he got some guys playing that we were desperate to be played all year. And he just had them looking re-energised and like the players were enjoying their footy more. So he did a good job. He didn't do anything that did his future prospects any harm. So hopefully whatever he decides to do works out really well for him. And I'd like to think that that's a role at Carlton, but I guess it's his call. Okay,
speaking of the job that John Barker did, let's go straight into the weekend wake.
This is the Weekend Wake.
So, last Sunday at the MCG, Carlton 12-6-78 defeated Melbourne 7-13-55. Defeated, I did say that word. We won. Goals for Carlton: Cruiser 4, Walker 3, Cripps 2, Everett 2, and Watson 1. Best for Carlton, Cripps, Cruiser, Tutt, Curnow, Murphy, and Doherty. A couple of injuries. Well, actually, it was a shed full of injuries again for Carlton. Not all of them are out, but Casbolt was replacing the selected side by Watson because he still hadn't come up from his knee injury. Menzel with a shoulder, Murphy with a shoulder, Jamison had concussion, and Cruiser injured his back. So Mark Murphy was the worst of those injuries, with his putting his shoulder out, and he was replaced in the third quarter by David Allard. What do we think of the win, guys? And was that fairly unexpected with the team we had in?
I had a good feeling going into it, actually. I
thought we were a chance, yeah.
With a good chance. But then when we started winning, I thought, oh no, we're going to lose this for sure.
Which makes total sense with us.
Before we were in the lead.
Every time we go, Thylacine and I, we get to about 20 points up and we look at each other and we're like, oh, we're going to lose today.
What about 50 up?
Well, that made me so nervous. But gee, oh God, I know we all want to probably talk about the same two players, but Cripps and Cruiser, if you don't have a crush on them, you're dead inside.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Watson and Allard.
Oh, didn't the crowd react positively to Watson?
Oh, they did actually. That was good to see. I was quite happy with that.
As soon as he went near the ball, everyone cheered him, and I think it was more because of the whole Henderson issue.
Yeah, it could be fueled by a bit by that, but maybe our guys...
That's just what it felt like to me because he was playing forward of the ball. Even though he came in for Casbolt, it just felt like when he went near the ball that people would cheer him. Because even a guy in the cheer squad had that banner that said, when the going got tough, Hendo got going.
Yeah, I saw that. Nice.
I was worried Watson would get Bronx cheers, but he didn't. They were actually really supportive of him, and I was like so happy that he kicked one goal. I would have liked to have seen a couple more just for his own benefit, but I'll take one.
Yeah, like you said, very proud of the Carlton supporters actually for not getting on the Bronx cheer bandwagon and actually giving him some support. I was actually really happy about that. Yeah,
I mean, his goal was a result of a Murphy kick falling short, but he was playing in front. But then he took a really nice one-handed contested mark, and he had a. Who did he run down? He ran down somebody in the middle of the ground.
The bear hug.
It took about half an hour for him to get to him. They were running in quicksand, but
according to Kringle, he put his afterburners on.
Give that man poster of the year.
It was running. His upper body was still, and his legs were pumping. His upper body wasn't moving at all, and it's just a bobblehead going. It was the funniest thing. But,
the funniest Carlton player run since Manton kicked the goal. Madden.
Yeah, possibly.
It was good to see a win. It was so good to see Cruiser and Cripps working together. And then that goal where Jamison got it to Cripps, and Cripps somehow, it's like magic. He just managed, I don't know how he does it. There's some footy magic that happens, and then he got it to Cruiser, who kicked this amazing goal, and oh my God, my heart fell out of my mouth because I didn't close my mouth for that long. I was that excited. It was so exciting to watch.
Didn't Barker say that if he spoke any more about Cripps, his wife would get jealous?
Yeah, his wife would get worried. I'm worried about HBF because there's posters of Cripps all over the house now.
Are they on the ceiling?
Yes, they are. And that's...
Oh, no.
There was some beautiful.
Does he have a little Cripps photo in like the corner of the mirror, like the side of the mirror, wedged in? It's for when he's like doing his hair or whatever.
Yeah.
He takes that photo with him to hairdressers and says, "Make me look like that."
That's the one in his wallet.
Got a photo of his wallet. You know where most people put photos of their kids?
Yeah. There were a couple of beautiful kicks across the body, delivery inside 50 that I really loved. Walker to Cruiser running through the centre,
on his left,
was brilliant, was fantastic. And Boakhurst on his swinging one across the Cripps in the square, that was fantastic. That was, we don't get players spotting up, teammates like that very often. So they stood right out. And I apologise because AFL site confused me. The way they've got it written up, it was actually Walker kicked 4 goals and Cruiser kicked 3, not the other way around.
Yep.
But that, and then I just mentioned that because it was fantastic to see Walker up in his rightful spot and actually kicking goals.
Who'd have thought a 50-plus goal player would actually do okay in the forward line.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it?
Well, I mean,
Well, he's probably not. He's probably not capable of running around as much as he used to, and he's had a lot of share of injuries. So, but geez, he got out on his bike and got out in front. And
yeah, I don't think he's got the leap he used to have either. But he's still he knows where to go to get the ball on a lead, or how to crumb, and how to kick goals from the set shot or open play. I mean, he's a good medium forward.
I think the thing that struck me about the game against Melbourne was that almost everyone played really well. I've been critical of Curnow in the past, but I couldn't really criticise him during that game. He just bloody doesn't stop. And Buckley was really exciting and setting things up well, and Boakhorst probably played his best game. He really came out of his shell a bit, and everybody just seemed to be just out there to win.
Yeah, the pressure and tackling was brilliant right from the start. That's what got us that big lead. We jumped them. Yeah, amazing to see, and you just wonder. And I think we were really embarrassed and hurt in that game against Brisbane Lions, and it just showed the way we came out to just determined to show people that we still had some pride there. And oh God, that was good to see. And it wasn't about possessions. There's some that didn't get too much of the ball, but all the efforts were there from everybody. It's a real team effort. We're going to leave that, and we're going to move on to the next segment. So, close the windows, cover your kids' ears, and brace yourself, because I am proud to announce the return of a favourite segment. It's time for ShanDog Shouts. I think of myself as a calm and rational guy, despite the love of a good shouty rant every now and again, because, hey, it's cathartic. But even with the passage of a little bit of time now, I'm still really mad about something. Henderson, I'm talking about you. We all know this year has been an absolute abortion, and no doubt this hasn't slipped through the astute minds of some of our players, but your piss-weak efforts culminating in complete disloyalty by turning your back on Carlton stinks worse than thylacines seething cauldron of anus. Like a sooky, overpaid rat on a sinking ship, you've pulled the pin to join another club to chase even more dollars than a flag, despite Carlton showing faith by playing you game after game while you made Adrian DeLuca look like a fucking superstar. And to think that I had you on the back of my membership card. By the way, thanks so much to Mrs. Henderson for her comments on radio. In the spirit of letting our mums have a say on things publicly, here's my mum's thoughts for you.
Get stuffed, Hendo!
Well, there you have it. Carlton needs dedicated and skillful young players to rebuild our team and once again challenge for glory in the future, and you have clearly put that in the too hard basket. I hope that Geelong Medical didn't be too thorough. It's hard to hide a missing heart and nutsack. Thanks for nothing, Henderson. Fuck off.
ShanDog!
Oh!
Holy mackerel! I am blushing. Your language was foul.
Oh!
Sorry.
But
You have to wipe your mouth out with soap.
I had to make up for the lack of shoutiness. That was from the heart. There was no need for over the top.
That was heart and balls.
My mum says I'm not allowed to play with you anymore.
I think my favourite part of the whole Henderson bullshit is that his mother came out and said, "You won't find a man more loyal than Lockie Henderson."
The irony.
I mean, he's leaving, so obviously everyone who isn't leaving is more loyal than Lockie Henderson.
Yeah. Special thanks to Mama ShanDog too, by the way. That was actually her.
That was. Can I get that as a ringtone? I mean, people have been saying that Henderson was told he was on the trade table and that's why he played shit all year. But to me, that's no excuse. And I'm sure he's not the only person at Carlton who was told, everybody was probably told, you're on the year is like a year of assessing where we are. And at the end of the year, we're going to come together and decide who we'll put on the trade table. And some of them have gone, right, I'll show you. And other ones, like Henderson, have gone, oh, that's too hard, guys. So,
I completely agree.
I'm hoping for the largest chunk of football irony since Nathan Buckley said, I don't want to play for Brisbane, I want to chase success at Collingwood, and lost 2 grand finals to them.
Yeah, I hope whoever we get as a pick, like from the trade, just turns out to be an absolute gun.
Well, Geelong just got smashed by Collingwood, so if he's going there, I don't think he's going to get a flag anytime soon.
It would seem unlikely, wouldn't it? They seem to be on the decline, and they are trying to top up for another tilt, but yeah, they're going to have a few retire soon, so I don't know that they're quite going to get back up that mountain, so be interesting. All right, let's move on. Pre-game Pep Talk.
Pre-game Pep Talk.
So on Saturday, 1:45 p.m. at Spotless Stadium, Carlton take on GWS. Oh, I have nightmares the last time we played them. The ins for Carlton, Chris Yarran has finally made his return after a stint in the VFL. Cameron Wood comes back in the side, and Brad Walsh out. Mark Murphy is out for the season with a shoulder injury. Andrew Carazzo is out with a toe injury, and Christian Yatch with a ankle injury. Milestones for Carlton, Sammy Rowe and Tom Bell both play their 50th games. Guys, how do we think the game's going to go? Do you think we're a chance?
Yes.
A chance of what?
We're always
Right.
Showing up.
guys, come on.
Oh.
We're always a chance.
Yeah, we're missing a few critical players to really give ourselves a good shot at it. Just because I think GWS are going to be, even though they're resting Patton, they're still going to be too tall and too big and too skillful forward for us, I think. And that's where it's all going to fall down. Even if we can kick a decent score, I think they're just going to be able to outscore us. So, but that's not to say that we're not without a chance. If everyone plays with the intensity and passion that they did against Melbourne, then, anything can happen. So, but yeah, I feel for Patrick Cripps, who's pretty much a lone midfield star.
I was going to say, at the start of the year, would you have predicted a game where we were a midfield where we were missing Murphy, Gibbs, Judd, Carazzo, Thomas?
Yeah, unreal.
I mean, would you Graham? Yeah, well, Graham wasn't at the start of the year.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, carry on.
God damn it, ShanDog.
No. It's fine.
I mean, for God's sake, I'm going to have
That's
to
it, I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
About you. Your lack of attention.
Oh, but that's a healthy decimated midfield, isn't it? So, Patrick Cripps, I mean, we know he's our best midfielder anyway, probably, aside from Mark Murphy. But we're sort of Cripps number one. Curno's probably our second best midfielder. Tommy Bell and then what have we got? Wiley, and we're really this is amazing. And Nick Holman couldn't even crack it for a game.
Yeah, that's really strange.
I think while we are a chance to win, I think we'll be up against it for the reason mentioned about our depleted midfield. And the other one is I was last week against Melbourne with our fitness to run out the game obviously wasn't as good as Melbourne. So I think GWS might top us there as well because, once again, due to our injuries and, having to play so many depth players. And then the other one is I noticed as soon as Mark Murphy came off the field, that leadership aspect from the lack of senior players was gone again.
Yeah,
People say he doesn't have much leadership, but the second he walked off that field, I saw the difference.
Fell apart.
And it meant they had one less star of, not that there were too many to begin with, for them to look
one
after.
person doesn't make that much of a difference that quickly.
Yeah, but it's like a 2-for-1 swap, Now a Melbourne midfielder doesn't have to worry about Murphy. He can go and create his own thing because no one else is going to be anywhere near as damaging for us other than Cripps.
Unless he tries to watch Cripps. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's not like we were one person down on the field. Like we still had even numbers and they still had someone to watch. Well, it's not Mark Murphy, but everywhere on the ground, the direction that they were getting and the leadership fell away instantly.
And he's been in such good form, it just shows how important he's been.
Yeah, he doesn't stand there and yell at them like on camera and stuff, but it's a different type of leadership.
Yeah, well, I'd rather him be himself than lead like someone like Brendon Bolton, who has a PhD in pointing.
Where do I get one of those? That sounds good.
That should be a stat, honestly.
Ask Eddie Maguire where you get the PhD in pointing.
Dr. ShanDog?
Or Sam Newman.
Who's going to be our captain this week? Is it does it come down to Jamo or Sammy Rowe?
Just give it to Cripps.
Rowe's in the leadership group, isn't he?
Sorry, Rowe is. Isn't Jamo and Rowe, aren't they?
Jamo?
I think
I'm not sure.
I think he is. Anyway, just give it to Cripps, because imagine, can you see a kid not winning the Rising Star after having such a dominant season and also being captain?
Yeah. I don't know. I can see both sides of the argument for the Rising Star thing, but it might be a bit too early to throw the C onto.
And I'm running out of big head jokes for Watson.
Would you like some more?
No, so like if we give Cripps the captaincy, his head might get bigger.
I actually just wanted to raise Sam Rowe's name because I forgot to mention what a great game he had last weekend. Back in form again.
Yeah, he did have a good one.
And it's his 50th this week, which I think is pretty impressive considering his story, which we all know about. So ShanDog and I, as co-chairs of the Sam Rowe fan club, I'm sure we'll be watching his game very closely.
How did we miss Tommy Bell when we're talking about the midfield?
Oh yeah, he's still with us for another couple of games, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, I mentioned it.
Did you?
I mentioned it.
Oh, so it's me paying attention again.
Although he is named centre half forward. So,
yeah, of course he is.
Back till we get centre half back. Yeah.
Do you reckon we've ever tricked anybody in the history of the world?
I don't think.
Look at it, you're like, oh my God, Bell's playing centre half forward. This changes everything.
Yeah, I don't think it worked when Kevin Sheedy used to do it with Matthew Lloyd in the 90s by naming him as the back pocket.
I think on the AFL app on my phone, Cade Simpson is lined up directly against Cam McCarthy. I don't think that's going to work out so well for us.
There was, however, a contest last week against Melbourne where one of the Melbourne forwards, I can't remember which one, didn't have an opponent, so Dilbucks had to go stand on him, and he was looking around nervously waiting for another bigger Carlton defender to come back and pick him up because the size difference was huge.
Oh, Dilbucks can beat anyone, though, so...
No, he was looking quite worried. He would have
just putting it on.
He would have put in 120 million% effort, but he just wasn't tall enough.
Well, he'll grow. He'll be fine.
Shovel some shit on him.
So we got absolutely smashed for pace last time we played GWS. So I'm hoping we can at least keep up with a little bit of effort and the tweaks to the game plan and whatnot that make us look. Maybe we can. The ball movement might be a little bit better. We might be close to our man, and we won't look like we're swimming in treacle on the day. But I still, I think. What have we got? 12 players that have played 50 games or less. That's pretty telling.
We're going to get smashed. Do it the right way and get smashed the GWS way against GWS. That's what you said last week, wasn't it?
Oh, it was.
Somebody said it.
Yeah, no, I think you said it, ODN. That if we're going to get beaten, do it while we're playing. You know, the younger guys getting games into them. So
yeah, do it the GWS way.
Yeah. Oh, geez, I come out with some good stuff. You don't even know.
Why am I worried about Cripps head getting any bigger?
All right. So we're all tipping a great win. Fantastic. All right, folks. I think we'll leave it there. Another good night, full of fun, merriment, mirth, and all the usual stuff. Thank you very much for coming in, Happy Dude.
You're welcome.
Thank you. He's always so enthusiastic. Thank you for having a shout, ShanDog.
Get stuffed, Tendo!
And maybe it was so nice having you back.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Let's hope the Blues put up a good account against GWS this weekend. Go Baggers.
Go Blues.
Go Blues.
Wow.